Not sure if you all know this, but Adrian and I both have YouTube channels. My YouTube channel, if you can please subscribe, is Nevermore Records. Adrian's is Plastic Realm Toys. You can also follow us on Instagram at HNH_podcast and find us on Facebook. We even have a private group. Just send a request and we'll let you in. Follow our recording studio on Instagram at Nevermore_Records_EPTX and our guitar company on Instagram at Nevermore_Guitars. So we're going to make an announcement today.
Yeah.
Well, so let's talk about it.
How do you want to get into it? Just
I don't know. Take off your pants.
Fine. You said. And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Half and Half Podcast.
Hey, this is Paul.
This is Adrian. Now you can finally see us.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Trying to get situated.
You're still as beautiful as ever, BT Dubs.
Thank you. I feel older.
I mean, you are. But I've told you, dude, 27 is not bad. You need to stop beating yourself up.
I know, right? So today's going to be a very different episode.
Yes.
You want to get us caught up? So let's start off by talking about the announcement post and what that means. So we're going to make an announcement today.
Yeah.
Well, so let's talk about it.
How do you want to get into it? Just
I don't know. Take off your pants.
Fine. You said. Dude, speaking of pants, I'm on this fucking diet, right? Real quick. Mm-hmm. It's Lent, right? So no carbs, no sugar, really fucking high protein. I'm hitting 200 grams of protein and doing everything I can. The scale is not budged. I feel like I'm fatter. You know what I mean?
Do you think that comes with age? And the only reason why I say that, so my wife, she's really watching what she eats.
Yeah.
And so I was like, cool, I'll start really watching what I eat too. And I was. And so like I dropped 5 pounds. I was like, look at this shit. Like I don't even fucking try 5 pounds, right? Next morning I wake up, I weigh myself. Literally next morning, I gained them back overnight.
It's because you're just full of shit, man.
Dude, right? I don't understand. It's challenging. I feel like my metabolism is like molasses these days.
I feel like mine's not. See, because here's what happens. Usually after Lent is over, I'm in the 190s like I always want.
Mm-hmm. Lucky.
And then I get crazy, right?
Like the 290s. I'm just kidding.
I get crazy and I go back to normal. The sugars, the candies. But I will carry the 196, 197 mark all the way until like October, right? So then I start eating a little more because I know it's fat kid season, right? But even then, I'll maybe tip 100. Come January, February, when I'm like, oh, fuck.
100 or 200?
200, sorry.
Yeah.
Come January, when I know Lent is approaching, I'll dig in a little more, and then fucking boom, I'm like 212, 213, like out of fucking nowhere. And but then it won't come off.
You know, I really wonder how much just all the garbage that's put into the food that we eat, even if it's from the grocery store these days, how much that plays a role in all that.
You could be right.
You know, keeping us unhealthy just so they can sell medicine. But let's not get into that.
This is not that episode.
So anyway, so for those of you that we've had the new studio for months now, but this is our first time filming in the new studio.
Yeah.
Background is a little bit different, but more or less the same. We've got a couple of areas that future state we will film in.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do our challenge. Yeah, we're not going to do our challenge. I don't even think I have my challenge notes.
No, we had said prior to today, it's just.
So let's explain why. Okay, so let's get into it.
See, you're better at the setup because
you want me to do it? Okay. So we love doing this podcast. It's something that it is very time consuming. People have no idea. I mean, this is episode 83.
83.
People have no idea the time, the blood, the sweat, the tears that goes into 83 episodes, you know, an hour and a half, more or less each.
Yeah.
Just coming in, prepping, setting up. I mean, it's one thing to do audio only. It's another thing to do video as well.
Yeah. And everyone knew you were going to take a break on that, on the audio part.
Yeah,
We had said it,
yeah.
you know
So,
what I mean?
and that was during like the transition of studios, and it was just kind of like I wanted everything to be kind of stable.
Yeah.
But, you know, what's ended up happening over the last few years that we've been doing this is our musical projects, which is the foundation of this whole podcast, has kind of taken a back seat to the podcast. And it's been a realization of, as much as we love this podcast, in order to do what we truly, truly love most, which is making music, we need to... We're at a crossroads where it's like, what do we do? How can we not just put an end to the podcast to focus on the time needed to do the music? How can we interweave the two together?
Right.
And so we came up with this awesome, I feel like it's a great, it's already like, I like to be creative.
Yeah.
And it's already anything that, is like a good creative outlet for me, gets me very excited.
Right. My side of it comes a little more on the somber side, right? So, I mean, not only is it that, but the podcast takes a lot of time because Paul does such amazing work. Thank you, by the way.
Of course.
This is all because of you. You know what I'm saying? But it's also, you know, you have other businesses. We have Deluxe. So it's like, you know, I have a career, you have a career. Like, there's so many things going on.
Yeah.
To where you're right. Like, the music went under the rug. You know what I mean? But the biggest reason why I came up with this idea or my whole reasoning behind it is, you know, over the past couple of years, you know, I've always said it. Music for me is number one. Above all, I'm a musician. It's what I want to do till the day I die. But I started having these sobering realizations that, could it possibly be time? Could it possibly be coming to an end? You know, I was a part of a few projects over the years. A project called Yolotli and another band called Of Earth and Bone. You know, things happened to both of those bands, and this most recent one made me question, like, that's it. Do I throw in the towel? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then I started getting angry about it because it's like people decided that for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I came to Paul and I said, dude, let's write the last album we'll ever write, but put everything we have into every note, into every beat, into every fucking hi-hat. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything, not settling. And if this is our swan song, like they say in boxing, then it has to be the most amazing fucking album to us, obviously.
Led Zeppelin also said it. Just saying.
What? Swan
Swan
song?
Song.
Oh, did they?
Mhm.
I thought it was a boxing thing.
They have I think it's a whole album called Swan Song.
But
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I'm almost positive. Or a song maybe. But anyway.
So yeah, to me, that's you know, when I hit Paul with the idea, most of my ideas, he's like, "You're dumb," but but this one, he actually agreed to it.
Yeah, so because it's not just us taking a break, writing an album, and hey guys, here's the album. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you guys. I don't give a fuck who listens to the album.
Oh no, yeah, it's for
This
us.
is for me. This is for you. This is for us. You know, life is short, and granted, we're not like fucking 80 years old, but I feel like like you said, we have so much going on. We have such little time in between all the things that we have going on. We have to be smart and organized with how we approach and use that time.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to be that guy that's like, I haven't picked up a guitar in 6 months because, you know, I got like a billion guitars and they're just sitting there. I know so many musicians that are like that. Mm-hmm. Musicians that are like, they, you know, get too involved in their careers and everything going on that nothing ever gets done.
Yeah.
And again, this isn't about like, oh, we're going to put it out. We're going to have all these listeners. We're going to make it and we're going to do all these grand things. If things come out of it, awesome. I know the music industry and I know it's usually not that way. This is for us. This is something that we can put together a good 10, 12 songs, whatever the case may be, and not give a fuck what genre, what style. Literally just me and you and anybody else that we get involved, and we'll get into that right now, doing what was the beginnings of our relationship, which is just writing music, vibing off of each other, and just getting that feeling of like, damn, that was good. Do that again. And me playing over it. All right, let's record it. Boom.
Yeah. The fun of, over the past couple of years, we've done musical projects, but we always go into it with an intention. Texas Cutthroat has to be fucking heavy. Tragic Landing had to, you know what I mean? It
we almost revived Ashling, so it was like we needed to maintain in that genre, that style.
Yeah, we got away from us, like you just said.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And that's the thing, is that there's no expectation. The expectation is that we just take the time and do it. And so one of a caveat or a side note, I guess you could say, is where we can still satisfy bringing you guys into the journey, I guess, so to speak. Because I mean, we don't know how long it's going to take.
No, we don't.
We could be done with an album in 2 months. We could be done an album in 2 years. We don't know how long it's going to take.
Okay, it's not going to take 2 years. I could tell you, but yeah, we don't. But we don't want to put that up because we always do that. We always go from point A to point Z like this. In our plans, it's the album has to be done. Then we got to push it, and then we got to do this. And then, but right now, we just said just the music.
Yeah,
just the music. That's all we need right now.
Being in the music industry, when you're trying to make it, when you're trying to appease whoever's involved, you end up setting up guardrails and parameters.
Yeah.
And when you're at a point where I think we are at, where it's like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to make music. And that's what fucking matters.
Yeah.
And what comes afterwards, we'll deal with it when it comes afterwards. If anything, at least like I can say, yeah, that like I remember it's about the journey and about enjoying the process of making music together.
Yeah. Because far too many times you and I, we toot each other's horns and we know we're instantly like, all right, this is going to be fucking great, right?
Yeah.
Which 9 out of 10 times it is. But
to us.
Yeah. But this time it's really just music first, right? We focus on the music without any other fucking noise in the background.
Music first, and this is what I was trying to get to, and I totally slipped it. We're going to set up cameras. We have a great fucking studio. We have 2 studios. We have all this great gear. To me, I'm a huge, obviously, I love the video aspect of things.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to film the whole process. We have people coming in that are going to help and be a part of the process. We've talked about like our buddy Dave, who wants to give it a shot and try to see if maybe he can be in on, once the music's done, doing like vocals and stuff, or even just kind of being a part of the process. I don't know. I mean, he's our buddy, but we've never heard him sing, so I don't know. Dave, I love you, but I mean, it might not work out, right? But that's
at least he's easy on the eyes, though.
Oh, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's part of what we want to get everybody in on. And so this goes back to when I was a kid. My first band was a Metallica cover band, right? I was like 9 years old when I first started playing guitar. By the time I was in like 6th, 7th grade, I had a Metallica cover band. And I remember me and my friends, we would have sleepovers and we would watch the 1.5 years in the life of Metallica over and over and over. And then when we were done watching it, we were like, let's jam. And we would just play Metallica songs. We are not Metallica by any means. We're nobodies.
We're better.
But I don't care who it is. Whenever I go to YouTube, anytime I see any band, I don't care who it is. It could be a country band. It does, and I hate country, right? But it could be a country band, and they showed behind the scenes the process. And maybe that's because I'm a music producer. Maybe it's because it's just so closely tied to what we do.
Yeah,
I have to watch it.
Oh, all the time.
I love.
That's my
love.
That's my favorite part of most bands. Like I want to know their names. I want to know where they come from. I want to know the back. So anytime I see that documentary style behind the scenes, like Under Oath has a fucking great one.
Oh, really?
Poison the Well has
Yeah.
a fucking great one. You know what I mean? I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love it. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like I go searching for it on YouTube of bands I don't even know.
Right.
Because I just want to see how they do it. You know?
And on a more somber, sad note, I mean, I know this is going to sound a little too dramatic, but dude, for me, I also think to myself, you know, one of these days when, if I make it to be 80 years old, if I could look, which is the whole purpose of the podcast. Remember, we
Right.
said,
Yeah.
if we don't have any fucking listeners, that doesn't matter. It's just that one day we can look back and listen to the stupid shit we said and have a laugh, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same concept, it's the same idea that one day I'm going to be there, old fucking, just waiting for my last breath, watching the stupid shit and reminiscing and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or even for like my daughter, right? Or
Yeah.
my son, somebody that can be like, oh, hey, you remember there's like tons of videos that your dad did that's on YouTube, you know?
Yeah.
It could be played in my funeral for all I care.
Well, for me, it's going to be it. God forbid, one of us is going to go, and that's how I'm going to get to still be with you.
Yeah, having
Yeah.
a beer, watching it, reminiscing.
Motherfucker.
It's nothing other than combining things that we love, again, selfishly for ourselves. But if there's anybody, you know, if you all are listeners, you know, because let's be realistic, okay? When we first started this, we had like 5 listeners. At one point, at the height of this podcast, there's an episode there that we had close to 20,000 listeners, which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody out there, even if it's 2 fucking people that are interested in coming along for that journey, fuck yeah.
I think it's like we always say. We always have the plan. The plan's always laid out. But I think this time we'll know what we're going to do when the music is done.
Right.
We're going to say, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know, we've even talked about things about people that we've spoken about who are musicians that we love in this area. You know, even if the time is right, if everything gets, you know, not forcing it, if we're just like, hey, so-and-so would be awesome to play guitar on this song, or what if we got this drummer to play drums on this song? You know, we've talked about that, bringing them into the studio.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day is, it sounds a little bleak. That's funny because the original name of Ashling was Bleak. It sounds a little, but if we were to bring these people in the studio that we haven't seen in a very long time, that could very well, because of, you know, like my experience of like my parents passing, I've had a best friend pass. I've had like in the last like 5 years, I've known a lot of like people close to me die. And, I'm not saying that everybody's going to die, but it could very, very well be the last time that we get to share
That
experience with somebody in the studio.
Right.
So as this sounds so fucking melodramatic and depressing, it's really not. It's really, but at the same time, I think we're moving about it in a way where it's like, I would rather do it. And then instead of like 20 years down the road, if we're still alive, or if I'm still alive, saying like, could you imagine if we would have actually done that? Like, I hate that feeling.
And that is why I've had this idea in my head for a long time. But as we've said, just the day-to-day over the past 2 years have become busy for everybody. Right. And we don't like to just meander around and fucking, all right, yeah, we'll come back tomorrow. When we work, we work.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't had that time to work. And like I said, we don't know. I don't know anymore. Right.
Yeah.
Like, where's my path now musically? I don't know.
Right.
And if I'm going to call it quits, it's got to be with you. 1, 2.
I would never call it quits. Like ever. Like I want to be fucking 85 years old still picking up a guitar.
Oh no, dude, I play bass every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Right.
While the shower's warming up, I got my bass in my hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
But I know what you
naked
mean.
and
I know what
shit,
you mean.
you know what I'm
Like
saying?
project wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the push, right? Like, yes, I know this is not for the reasons we used to put out music.
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind, it's
Isn't
still...
it funny how it's not the reasons why we used to put out music, but we still put out the same as we've always have?
I put out more now.
They say when you get older, you lose it. I feel like it's just I've gotten
Not here, sir.
more of that drive.
Well, it's because, dude, we're a different breed of old guys.
I know,
You know what I'm
right?
saying? We beat father time. So far, we've done it. You know?
Yeah, slowly, slowly, yeah. But yeah, no, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off with the joke, but no, I'm like, when we started talking about this, I got like genuinely excited.
And that's what got. And I knew. I've and over the past year and a half, I've said, dude, when are we gonna get in? When are we gonna get in? Let's finish this song. Let's Texas Cutthroat, whatever. Let's do something, right? But I knew I had to strategically come to you with like a solid idea.
Mm-hmm.
And the title or however we're going to use this term, or if we're going to use it at all, was the last album we'll ever write.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And to me, like we just said, how we love watching bands on YouTube. If I see a video called the last album we're ever going to write, I'm like, are these fucking dudes dying? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm going to watch this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because this very well
could be it. Yeah.
Could be the last album we ever write.
On that note, we've technically only written one full-length album, and that was Ashling's Estrella.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it had 12 songs on it, something like that. And that was in early 2000, like 2001.
Mm-hmm. 2000. No, it came out 2002.
Yeah. So
my daughter had just been born.
We wrote it like probably 2000, 2001, right? And it's funny because that album has a little buzz going on right now, which is fucking weird to me. But anyways, so on that note, I want to talk about the name of this project. Every project, instead of saying, "Oh, let's do a Ashling revival," let's do it under Texas Cutthroat, we decided let's start fresh. Let's do a whole new name. So it's got its own entity, so to speak.
And to me, that's like a spiritual thing. The more you hold on to the shit that wasn't doing it for you, the more it's not going to be right. Because in your mind, subconsciously,
you're beating a dead horse.
Yeah, and subconsciously, it's like fucking Ashling again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but now it's like it's fresh. It's like
clean slate.
Yeah, all the bad juju's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so this isn't a band name that we've been sitting on for probably more than 10 years.
You came up with it, and I thought it was. I didn't even remember where you came up. From how you came up with it, but I always thought it had to do with like actual killers. You know?
Right. Well, let's talk about that.
Okay.
How did I come up with it?
So there's a movie.
Great movie
for you all who may live under a rock. So the Johnny Cash biopic with Joaquin Phoenix.
Walk the Line.
Yeah. There's a part where he's waiting to play, and he's waiting for Jerry Lee Lewis to finish. Jerry Lee Lewis is a fucking amazing musician. Back then, that was the standard of a frontman. You know what I mean? Like, Jerry Lee Lewis is walking off the stage, and Joaquin Phoenix compliments him somehow. I don't remember the exact line. And Jerry Lee Lewis just looks back at him and goes, "No one follows the killer," and walks off.
Or nobody
follows the killer and walks off.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is really cool because
of what it means. Like,
yeah,
you can't fucking touch this guy. Like,
yeah.
Thank you. But no one follows the dude.
Yeah. And I was like, that's such a fucking great name. But over the years, Adrian was always like, I can't get past the nobody. Okay. Like, it just sounds weird to me.
And it's weird to me because you're a teacher. I get it, right? Like, you want to use... Okay, so we're going to put it out there. The name of the project is No One Follows the Killer, right? But the line is Nobody Follows the Killer. And that just sounds too country twangy for me. Like, it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound menacing. You know what I mean? Like,
nobody... But he kind of does say it like that, though.
Yeah, he said, nobody follows the killer.
Yeah.
But... Anyway, so we met in the middle, and we're going to go with No One Follows the Killer, because in my mind, I'm a huge horror buff. And for years...
you're a huge whore. You're a whore, Peter.
You're a whore, Peter. My whole thing about horror movies, and I've thought about it since I was a kid, which is funny because we had spoken about this movie called... God damn it, I just forgot it. It was in the back of my mind. In a Violent Nature, right? So I've always wondered, like, while everyone's running around and screaming and the cops... What's Michael Myers doing? What's Jason doing? Yeah. Right in the midst of all this chaos. So there's this movie called In a Violent Nature that does just that. Literally follows the killer, And I was like, okay, it's a good thing they never did that because it's fucking boring, dude.
He's sitting at a bus stop.
Dude, literally, you just see the guy walking. See this long fucking empty
With
road.
like really like mellow jazz music.
Actually, made it worse in this movie. There was no fucking music.
Oh, man.
So it was just,
That's awesome though. I like that concept.
it was amazing.
Yeah.
It just wasn't done right.
Right.
The killer was fucking cool. But anyway, so when you hit me with that before the Johnny Cash thing, I was like, man, fuck it. No one ever follows the killer. It's weird. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So that's where my mind went.
So that's the name title. We're gonna open up a whole brand new Instagram. Everything that we post on there will be a collaboration with Half and Half, because at the end of the day, when that project's done, Half and Half comes back.
Oh yeah, let's put that out there. This is going nowhere. We're just gonna take a small hiatus in order to give this project the time it needs.
And so what I mean by we're gonna collaborate, we're gonna do we're going to release periodic episodes of the footage that we get of the process. So you'll get to come along on the journey with us. You'll get to see what we're doing, whether it be, if we have an awesome week, we might release an episode. If we have an awesome month, we might release an episode. So we're also going to be taking pieces of those episodes, obviously, like, highlights, just because people have they don't have the capacity to sit for more than 30 seconds these days. So you'll get to see a lot of that sporadically, and then the episode will come out, which will be a little bit longer. And then you'll get to kind of just look at what we're doing, where we're going. And then when everything's said and done, the goal is to take all of that footage and to turn it into one longer extended movie. Again, it's not anything that we're going to, it'd be fucking cool if it got picked up by like a distributor or something, but I'm not even thinking about that. To me, it's like, it's going to go on YouTube and it's going to be there to just like putting our like a old school like VHS back in the attic, and then they're pulling it out every once in a while to give it a watch.
Exactly.
But I'm really excited about it. It is going to be work, right? It's going to be a lot of work, editing, even just making those highlights for you guys, reels.
Oh, I thought you meant like the music part's going to be work.
Oh, but see, well, that's what I was kind of getting at. Well, that's going to be work as well.
We already said we're going to argue. We already know
sure.
Because
if we're not going to fucking argue, Adrian.
if this is the last one,
we're going to argue all the time.
We're not playing that.
It might just sound like, it might just be footage of like two girls arguing.
You bitch.
I'm leaving. And I'm taking my
this is my microphone stand.
But compiling everything, like, I think it's gonna be cool. For me, creative outlet, I'm like killing like 3 birds with one stone. Like, from the video aspect to the music aspect to just having that time with you, you know what I mean? Like, that's what the foundation of all of this.
And that's the crazy thing. We're together a lot these days.
Right.
Like the past 4 years since COVID, when we first started the guitar business, we've been together. We've seen each other more. Actually, no. When we were 19, I basically lived with you. But still, there was a time period where we didn't. But we're together more now. So much so that you jokingly said the other day, I just want to talk, but I don't want to talk about business. And I'm like, duh. Because every time we're on the phone, it's like we have something to fucking square away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So now we're back to cut the noise out.
Yeah.
We're going to just do what we got to do.
Some people go to a spa. Some people spend that extra time getting a massage, watching dramatic television. I do that all the time, actually. But I'm still working while I'm doing that.
You listen to dramatic TV.
Yeah, I listen to it. I'm like, what did she say? Right. Oh my God, I can't believe Kyle just said that.
Right? Karen, what's going on here?
But for us, even though it's work, music is ultimately, like, I always tell people technically there's 3 things that are able to silence the noise in my head. Mm-hmm. And, my mind is going a million miles a second. Even if I'm sleeping, when I'm dreaming, my dreams are fucking nuts. You know, there's 3 things that silence that noise. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. No, any trash TV. Yeah. I'm just able to, because it's just mindless. I'm not thinking. I'm not having to think about what's going on.
Fucking shout out 90 Day Fiance and Married at First Sight.
100%. Below Deck. And I like Below Dick too. But
You're about to get some anyway.
Video games.
Yeah.
Video games, I got to get in.
Do you even play video games
Yeah,
anymore?
I get in about a 30-minute sesh every day.
Really?
Yeah, even if it's just one match.
I forgot what I was doing the other day, and video games popped in my head. I'm like, Bodacito, the CD Pro hasn't even touched this.
No,
control.
yeah, I have to get in. I get in at least a match a day, maybe every other day.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but
Because one match will last probably about 15, 20 minutes.
what game?
Like lately, I've been playing Call of Duty again,
okay. Yeah.
which is. But anyways, I'll get in like a quick match, and then like if I'm like I gotta take a shower, I'll be like, oh, let me play a quick match and then go take a shower. So then, and then the last thing is and the most important, and I think it's just music, and I think for me, for my brain, when as the young kids say these days, it makes me lock in.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm not thinking about anything other than what's going on in that moment. And that's why
Right.
a lot of people that are not musicians, or maybe you do get it, but I don't think a lot of people that aren't musicians understand, there's this misconception of, and I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm speaking for just things I've heard over the years, right? There are people that do music for the fame, for the money, for whatever, right?
It'd be nice. I mean, I would.
Yeah, I mean, ever since we started back in the day, that was always my take on it. Was I don't really care about the fame, but like if I could get paid
to do what you love.
to play music because it's what I love the most, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But it's never been like the goal. It's always been the like that would be great, So there's this misconception that musicians don't know how to give it up because they want that side of things,
Yeah.
or they like the I want to be a rock star thing. And there are musicians that we've met that are like that. But for me, it's the creative outlet. It's the one time that I can really be locked in and silence the craziness that exists within this brain. And it's not pleasant. I'm constantly thinking about shit, and it's always negative. I'm always thinking about things that are going to go wrong, and what if we don't do this, and what. My mind is just a million miles a second, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but anybody that has ADHD, anybody that I'm sure a lot of business owners out there.
But yours sometimes scares me when you're like, dude, there was a fucking tornado in Oklahoma, and it got me thinking. If a tornado were to hit El Paso, our building would go to shit. So we need to start building this. We need to build that. I need you to call this contractor. And I'm like, time the fuck out. Oklahoma?
Yeah. The other night, I was trying to go to sleep, and I turned to Daniela, and I was like, hey, did you take care of whatever? And she was like, I'm trying to go to sleep. I don't want to start thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Dude, 2 minutes go by. Hey, but did you? And she's like, are you serious? I was like, sorry, I forgot that you told me. Like, that's my brain, man.
But you come at it in such a bull in a china shop way to where I go, oh, fuck, he's right. Oh, fuck. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, fuck. Who am I going to call? And then I'm like, this motherfucker said Oklahoma. You get me like in that. So I start frantically fucking looking
everybody
for numbers.
Everybody gets frazzled because I'm all frazzled. Yeah, and and I'm always looking for things to tame that. Just recently I started with like the L-theanine, which at the beginning it was fucking amazing. Now I feel like it kind of helps, but not really.
Yeah.
But music is the one thing, like out of everything, music, when I'm fucking have a guitar in my hand and I'm fucking in the studio, or even just like jamming with you, like that's where I lose all fucking sense of time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I could literally feel like I was there for 10 minutes and 4 hours went by. And so I'm really looking forward to getting that feeling back, and it's therapy for me.
Yeah. To
Keeps me sane.
I cannot not touch an instrument the whole day.
Or diak.
Oh, well. I mean, I touch my own when you're not around, right? But yeah. But yeah, I have to, dude. I have to. Like, it's either there's a guitar laying around somewhere, a bass is laying somewhere, and it's just, for a couple of minutes a day, sometimes it turns into an hour of just fucking noodling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I've always said this is not a choice for me. You're like, it's a have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not on the whole, gotta be a rock star thing. Again, wouldn't say no. But it's like, I just want to put out music. all the fucking time. Like, dude, you're ADHD about things going awry, and here there's just so many albums and like melodies, and there's a bass line here and a guitar part here and a drum part here and a verse here, and it's like all day long.
Yeah.
Dude, voice memos up the ass of me going jigga jigga jan jigga jigga jan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're headed. That's going to now take precedence over this podcast. I mean, we might get a wild hair halfway through and say, hey, let's do an episode. I don't know.
If we feel, because you and I are very good about saying, time the fuck out. Let's walk away for a couple of moments.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes we do get in our heads and it's like, I think it's perfect. You think it's not, or vice versa. And then we say, psh. So yeah, we might sprinkle in episode 84, 85 in the middle of this whole thing just to, I don't feel like right. I might walk in and go, ugh, the last thing I want to do with you right now is right.
Yeah.
Let's just do an episode.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's where we're at. And so this will be our last episode for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But you will start to see, I mean, I think as early as next week, we're going to start.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the time that we normally spend here doing half and half, we'll start to spend it doing that. And let's just see what comes of it. Let's see what happens. For all we know, we might fucking write the world's greatest hip hop album. I don't know.
Or the world's greatest new metal album. We'll mix it up.
Oh, shit.
Yes, so this is it, people. The last album we'll ever write.
And to our friends, our musician friends out there who we love and love us, maybe hate us a little bit. Hey, man, if you want to, if it's something that interests you and, just give us a hello. I think about a lot of our friends that I wish we could just like, every once in a while, like, hey man, how are you? Like, I feel like a lot of them have even just fallen off with that,
Yeah.
and as you get older, time is short, to not give that time to people that really played a significant role in one way or another in our journey.
Oh yeah.
There are some people that I refuse to talk to, but I'm not going to get into that. But just send us over like, hey, if there's anything that comes up, I would love to be,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of you that we really care about and would love to collaborate with.
Yeah, some people for sure are going to get a phone call. We've already spoken about
A couple
of them that we would like to get on a song or two. You know what I mean? Yeah. Wherever this goes, it goes, right? Just want to do
And
it.
if you're a vocalist that you feel like you can fucking outdo Dave, we'll fucking kick him out and we'll record it. We'll fucking kick that drama's gonna be great.
Yeah, he can go cry in the car.
Because Dave also works for us at the daycare.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey man, you still got to go to work.
Do me a favor. Go pick up this afternoon shift. Get the fuck out of here.
That's what I love about Dave is that Dave busts balls, but he can take it too.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I love having him around.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's about it. I think I can't think of anything else I wanted to say.
No. Hopefully you guys, thank you for the past 82 episodes. Again, this is not the last one, but we want to share this with everybody like Paul was saying. So hopefully you guys come along for the journey. We might get a fist fight out of it. You never know. So I would stay tuned. But this means a lot to us. It means the world to me because I don't know what comes at the end of this. But yeah.
I mean, I might die of a car accident halfway through. You never know.
Well, somebody's gonna kill you because you drive a fucking Tesla.
That's why I got my fucking anti-Elon Tesla Club
those stickers
sticker.
aren't doing shit.
Dude, I know it's scary.
I
Man.
hope-
Well, I almost had somebody fucking kill me already once, and this is before.
Yeah, this was like 3 months ago.
More than that, like 5 months ago.
Was it
6
5
months ago? Yeah.
You're talking about that incident where the guy?
He fucking almost threw me into the wrong side of the road and was
Yeah.
telling me to pull over, and I was like, "Pull over! I can't pull over! I already pulled over."
It's a cardigan. But thanks for noticing.
No, and then like, see, he's lucky. He's lucky because he's lucky, and I'm lucky because. So, anyways, just to get you guys in on this, I don't know how we got on this, but anyways, some dude, I don't even know, he came out of nowhere, was trying to run me off the road. It was kind of like it just all happened really, really quick. And he was trying to get me to pull over, like he was throwing gang signs at me and shit. So that's why I was like, maybe he's not a political dude. Because I'm like, I don't know, man. But anyways, like it happened to be, I always have a gun with me, and it happened to be a day that I did not have my gun with me. And I always think about how I'm glad I didn't have it with me,
Yeah.
because honestly, you know, I know how you're supposed to respond in those situations. And if it would have gotten ugly, like, I don't want to kill anybody. Like, I don't ever want to have to use
Yeah.
that kind of force.
Yeah.
I'm a liberal with the guns. Nah, I'm not even liberal. I don't go. I'm right down the middle. I can go both ways.
Yeah. We already know that.
But politically, I am. All right. Anyways, enough about that.
But yes, thank you everybody. Hopefully you come along for the ride. It's gonna be a crazy journey.
Wait, are they gonna see like our makeout sessions?
Dude, that's how we get in the mode. We said we were gonna be 100% transparent.
That's true.
Okay. So if you're fucking taking a shit, but you say, man, I gotta take my guitar with me, I'm gonna film it.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right.
Well, thank you everybody. As far as half and half, until next time. Till we meet again.
All right. Bye.
Bye.